So you may have noticed that this line on our sustain pedal exercise actually is the first line of the stage 4 song, Pedal Song. And I named it that on purpose because it's a great song to get comfortable with the pedal on. Once you're comfortable with block chords, you can even try pedaling with a pattern. You'd still blip your foot every time you change chords like this if we did skipping up down on Pedal Song. I'm changing chords, so I'm about to blip, blip, blip. Another good song to try this on is the Stage 2 Pachelbel's Canon, because again, the right hand notes hold out the whole time, allowing you to free up your focus to be on adding the pedal to the left hand chords. Again, we could try skipping up down on Pachelbel's Canon. This is actually a great song to try our arpeggios with, since there's such a big reach and such a big jump for your hand. Blip, blip, blip. Once you're used to playing right hand with one note at a time holding out, then page 2 of Pachelbel's Canon is actually a really good one to go to next, because then you can practice just adding 2 notes in the right hand per measure like this. Because every time you add in a new right hand, sometimes it makes your foot or your left hand feel like lifting. It's a lot of those little motor skills that you have to get each foot or hand comfortable with staying down and only lifting when it's supposed to. Eventually, with practice, you'll be able to transfer the pedal just to playing any song without worrying about however many notes are in the right hand, such as O Shenandoah. See how beautiful the sustain pedal makes that song? Now I want to say that even though we changed pedal every time the chord changed in most of our examples so far, that is not a hard and fast rule. On some songs, such as Furry Lease, doing that will sound overstimulating. So here is if I hold the pedal down from the beginning of Furry Lease. See, doesn't that sound like so much going on already? And the rule is, if you have side-by-side neighboring notes, like Furry Lease starts with these 2 notes that don't necessarily sound good played together, a lot of times side-by-side notes like that, you can just leave the pedal off and then just use the pedal whenever you want to enhance something. For example, in this song, I would leave off the pedal until my A chord started here, and I would just hold it down for this measure, and then this measure, and then right here. And then when I started doing my side-by-side notes again, I would lift it like this. So you see how it didn't sustain those side-by-side notes, and it sounded so much better than if I was to go. It just sounds like I almost played all these notes all at once for the listener to hear if I did it with the sustain pedal.
Now, if you're a person that has sensitive ears, then sometimes the pedal will still sound overstimulating. So one thing that you could try is half pedaling. It doesn't really make a difference on a digital or electronic piano because those just sustain the same, it seems like, almost every time. But on an acoustic piano, if you only press it down part way, it's just kind of barely moving those damper heads off the string. So it still gives you a little bit of sustained sound, but not the full ringing out performance hall sound. So if I'm just going to do like a really gentle pedal, it would sound like this. So it had less of that big overpowering sound. Or with our exercise song. So I wasn't going all the way down, I was just doing a little blip. So that's another thing that you can ease your way into once you have more control with your foot, is just doing the tiniest bit of sustain pedal so that it sounds really good to you.
So when you have such close notes or a passage that's sounding really overstimulating to you, then just leave the pedal out completely, or you can even ease up on the pedal. Just start using your best judgment as you're pedaling. It's like adding salt to a meal. Just enough is perfection. The next tip is if you make a mistake while you're playing and while you have the pedal down, it's okay to just simply lift your foot and restart the pedaling. Or you can even start the measure over. You don't have to commit to holding the pedal throughout the end of the measure when you have like sour notes being sustained from a mistake. It's okay to just refresh and restart that. Okay, so by now, if continuous pedal is sounding overwhelming, then here are 2 simple ways that you can start incorporating the sustain pedal without having to worry about blipping your foot. First, you can simply add it to the ends of your songs to help the ending ring out until it can fade out, such as Spring in stage 2. Especially because we have all these C chords in a row, whenever you have the same chord, you can try just sustaining the entire time. So here's the very last line. See, all I did was add in the sustain pedal at the very end, and then the notes were able to ring out. It doesn't matter if I didn't do the pedal throughout the whole rest of the song. It was just kind of a nice way to end. The second way you can incorporate it is if you have any places like where there is a big jump where there's no way you could connect it. So for example, here in Nocturne in stage 4, we have our 2 on middle G. Our 5 goes clear up here to this high B. So there's no way you could connect that. So if I wanted to just hold the sustain pedal down and help me do my jump like this, see, that just allowed that to sound connected, and then I didn't worry about putting the pedal in the rest of the time. Finally, I will say that a good time to add sustain pedal to your song is after your song is comfortable and flowing well. In fact, I recommend that you be able to play the song well with both hands along with the slower speed playthrough section of your training video. For example, here's all the videos shown for stage 4. So you'll go use the chapters to go to the slower speed and get to where you can work your way hands together playing along with that video. At that point, it will be much easier to think of adding in this additional skill of pedaling. But if you try to add it in when everything is brand new, it'll be hard to get the correct rhythms down, the moves for your hands, etc., because you'll be loading too much on your mind to think about. So maybe if you have a warm-up song that's going really smoothly by now, that would be a perfect place to try adding in the sustain pedal. Once you get enough practice, you won't have to wait so long to add it to your songs, but at the beginning, when you're still just getting used to the basics, it's good to wait until your song is really going well first. Okay, we covered a lot in this video, so we're going to recap some quick do's and don'ts for pedaling. Do have good posture. Do keep your heel down and gently blip your foot at the sweet spot, which remember is not too early and not too late. Keep it sounding clean by repedaling as needed. Clean, not muddy. The don'ts are don't have poor posture. Don't lift your whole leg. Don't heavily blip your foot really hard so it makes a sound on the wooden acoustic piano. Don't blip too early or too late. And don't overuse, which makes your song muddy or overstimulating. You can also be reminded of many of these points by reviewing all of the bullet points on this sustain pedal tool. And that was our pedal training. I know it can seem like a lot, but this is one skill that is worth the reps. It's the top thing you can add, along with legato, to make your song sound absolutely gorgeous, even if it's the simplest song. You can still make it sound like it's next level with sustain pedal, and I'm sure you can see how to do that now. So I recommend playing this pedal exercise daily in your warm-ups until it starts to become second nature, just like driving did. You can start the exercise playing your left-hand chords slowly and then build up speed with confident pedal. When you are ready, you can add the right hand in too, and then you'll be on your way. If you need to learn about pedals for your digital piano, then head to the next video. And great job for all that you have learned here, and thank you for watching.